Edberg. He came from behind throughout the match. 4-6, 7-6, 7-6.
That's out and well out. So the quiet achiever, Brad Gilbert, he finds his way in tomorrow's final. A magnificent comeback. 1-6, 7-5 and 6-3. And Tony, what a comeback. He was out of that match.
And then there were two left to fight out the final of what's been one of the greatest tournaments seen in this country, the 1991 Australian Indoor Tennis Championship. Today's final features the world's #1, Stefan Edberg.
Oh, almost.
And the Californian tough guy, Brad Gilbert.
Oh, he's done it again on the run, Gilbert. Magnificent shot.
Both came back from seemingly hopeless positions to win their semi-finals. And it's this true grit, the character of champions, which will be on display once more today in the final showdown. Stefan Edberg and Brad Gilbert.
Because you can see the players now coming out, and so we now go down to courtside, and Tim Webster to announce the final.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the Uncle Toby's Australian Indoor Tennis Final, please welcome Brad Gilbert and Stefan Edberg.
Well, the crowd giving the players a warm welcome here. They're both favourites with the crowd, and I would expect the crowd to be evenly divided this afternoon with their allegiance to the two players. Of course, we've seen great scenes here this week with the appearance of Ivan Izovich and Jeff Masters. I think both these players will receive warm support.
Well, certainly there's been a wonderful atmosphere here this week, Bill, quite extraordinary. And as always, information is now abounding on the performances of players during the week. And here is a comparison. Now, interesting, in brackets behind some of these figures, you'll see where the players are standing this week. Now, aces, you can see Gilbert 22 to Edberg's 9. He's in 5th place, Gilbert. Break points saved, 81% for Gilbert, 62 for Edberg, and Gilbert's in 2nd place. And the other three down there, Gilbert in 1st place. So in all these statistics that are such an important facet of the game, Gilbert this week has been at or near the top in most of the aspects. So if you think Edberg's going to have it all his own way here this afternoon, well, I guess we're going to have to think again, because Gilbert, Bill, has really, well, he's been outstanding.
Well, he has been outstanding, and I'm sure that he'd love to see those statistics too, because that's one of his hobbies. He's a real sports fan, and he loves sports statistics, so he'll be very pleased to see that we have so much information on him. And of course, I think he does have a very good chance this afternoon against Edberg. He has been a top 10 player on a couple of occasions. He has won a tournament every year on the overseas tour, on the ATP tour, since 1983. He's taking a wealth of experience into the event. He is 5 years older than his opponent, and we saw yesterday, when Gilbert was in trouble, what a clever player he is. He slowed the game down. He didn't give Sampras the type of tennis he liked, and I'm sure that Gilbert has a very strong game plan out there this afternoon against Edberg. He's played him on many occasions. He's played him something like 10 times, so he'll certainly know how to play his opponent this afternoon. Here's Tim Webster today to tell us a little more about their career results.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Brad Gilbert has won the toss. He's elected to serve. Let me tell you a bit about these two. Brad is 30, seated #9 here. This year he's won 33, lost 20. ATP ranking of 25, but it was at its highest back in 1990. He was #4. Born in Oakland, California, these days lives in San Rafael in the same state. This year he's won nearly $250,000. In his career, pretty close to $3.5 million. Of course, that could be boosted by 155 or 80,000 today. A great year in 1989 he had. He won 17 straight back then and beat Boris Becker for the 4th time. He won the Queensland Open last year, and he's reached the finals in Los Angeles and San Francisco this year. On the way to this final, he's beaten John Fitzgerald, Marcellino from Italy, Ferreira, and a brilliant comeback to beat Pete Sampras, one of the most consistent and hard-to-beat players in the world and on this tour. Ladies and gentlemen, please say hi to Brad Gilbert. On the other side of the net, Stefan is 25. He turns 26 in January. He is, of course, the #1 here and in the world. He's won 65 this year, lost 15, born in Västervik in Sweden, but these days lives in London, England. 1991 prize money of $1.4 million. Career prize money now very close to $10 million. What can you say about this career? This man has won Wimbledon twice, he's won the Australian Open twice, he's the US champion this year, and of course has never won the French, maybe in 1992. On the way to this final, he's beaten Peter Lundgren, Mark Woodford, Michael Chang, in a match that some say was the best they've ever seen here on this court last night over Goran Ivanisevic. He is graceful, he's stylish, he's the #1, Stefan Edberg. And please, just as big a welcome for our umpire for this afternoon from Munich in Germany, Rudy Berger.
And on television, on Channel 10, it's back to Bill Bowery and Jeff Masters.
Thanks, Tim, and you heard the reception that both players received from this very big crowd here this afternoon. Certainly one of the biggest crowds that we've seen at the indoor final, and they're expecting great things from both players. But what does Jeff Masters expect from this match?
Well, I expect a game of contrasts, Bill. It'll be the serve and volley prowess of Edberg and the receiving characteristics of Gilbert. They have played before, on numerous occasions, in fact, and Gilbert certainly had his successes. They've played 10, and Gilbert's won 4 of them, but... Sorry, they've played 14, and Gilbert's won 4 of them. But in finals, Gilbert leads 2-1, and that's very significant because he is a big match player, Gilbert, and just relishes the atmosphere, the competition. And in fact, the last time that they played, just a couple of months ago in Los Angeles, in the semi-final on that occasion, Gilbert also won. So there's every reason to expect, Bill, that Gilbert's returning of serve and his competitiveness can more than keep him in this match.
Yes, well, of course, a great title to be won here, and a lot of money attached to it as well. The tournament, over $1 million in total prize money. The winner today will take home $155,000. That's Australian dollars, of course. Usually prize money is talked about in United States dollars. The runner-up, $83,554. So certainly a big difference in prize money in this match. And of course, the all-important computer points. Stefan Edberg at the moment ranked 1 in the world. He's bounced in and out of that position throughout the year. He has seesawed at 3 different times into the #1 position and back again. And so a win here would certainly help him to consolidate that #1 position. Remembering that he was a runner-up here last year to Boris Becker, and a win here would certainly help his ranking situation.
Yes, it certainly would, Bill, because Becker couldn't make it here this week. He's been injured, so all the points that Becker accrued here last year will drop off, and Edberg's going to get at least as many points, even if he loses today. So Edberg would be most relaxed about that facet. So he'll certainly keep his #1 ranking after this match, win or lose.
Edberg has reached 5 finals this year, and he's won 4 of them in Stuttgart, Tokyo, Queens, and of course, what a magnificent victory in the US Open. That was one of the finest serve volley exhibitions that I've seen on a hard court, I think, in all the years I've been watching tennis, when Edberg defeated Jim Courier so convincingly. And Courier, a player that had played so well during the year, the French Open champion, and yet Edberg just demolished him in that final. The court here in the Entertainment Centre in Sydney, a similar surface to what the US Open has played on. And so Edberg would feel very confident about the conditions here. And of course, as you can see, indoors, the weather does not play a factor. And so just perfect conditions, good siding, and I'm sure we're going to see a great match. Best of 5 sets. Tony Roach thinks that suits Edberg. What do you think, Jeff?
Well, I think it probably does. Over the long haul, you would expect the better credentialed player to win. But, gee, Gilbert, you just can't write this fellow off. He came back magnificently yesterday, and he's never out of a match.
Ready?
Well, we're in readiness now. It'll be Gilbert to serve in the first game.
Long.
A wild start from the #1 player.
Long.
Well, this is exactly how Gilbert likes to play. Works his way into the net with a good forehand and quickly cutting off that Edberg attempted chip.
Long.
Well, Gilbert certainly starting well. This forehand return a little short. Edberg expecting it into the backhand corner. Wrong-footed.
Well, a great start by Gilbert. The final of the Uncle Toby's Australian Indoor Championships. Brad Gilbert leads 1-love. Stefan Edberg to serve.
Well, Edberg will take it, but it was frankly a little more good luck than good management. This return right at the feet. Edberg just trying to get it into play. Comes up with the perfect half-volley drop shot.
Long.
Edberg going for controlled first serves here. 163 kilometres an hour. Oh, brilliant shot.
Well, this is where Gilbert is always so dangerous
15.
as a counter-puncher. If you don't get that volley really making him stretch, he can hurt you. Great shot.
Edberg has been in 58 career finals. He's won 31 of those final matches.
Second serve.
Well, at least there's not the cheering that went on last night when Edberg served a double fault from the fans of Ivan Izovic. There it is. Games with serve. It is 1-all in the first set.
1 game all. Quiet, please. Long.
These two players played just a matter of weeks ago in Los Angeles when Gilbert defeated Edberg in a semi-final.
15 all.
Well, Gilbert's certainly not with the most powerful ground strokes from the back of the court, but he tries to keep them deep. That one there, too deep from Edberg, so that will be the question mark hanging over Gilbert's performance. If he drops short at all, with not a lot of pace, Edberg's really going to make him pay.
30-15.
Little change up here from Gilbert, serving and volleying.
So both players coming up with a double fault in their early service games. Gilbert very much a thinking man's tennis player. He mixes the game up, sometimes comes to the net, sometimes stays back. He likes to keep his opponents off balance.
Out. 40-30.
Well, Edberg, a very careless miss from him. The serve, not good. Edberg coming in with a good approach shot there. Simple forehand volley. He'll be most displeased with that.
Quiet, please.
Net!
Second serve. Deuce.
Well, those last 2 points must sound danger signals for Gilbert. If he doesn't get his first serve in, Edberg is going to chip and come in, put the pressure on the passing shot. There's the tour statistics there in 1991. First serve points won, 75%. That puts him in 11th position overall on the ATP Tour.
Serve.
Advantage, Edberg.
Yes, it was interesting statistic, that one, Bill, because he has got a good first serve, but it's the only statistic that Gilbert does feature in on the year's statistical performances, whereas Edberg, that man there, he features in 8 of the top
Thank you.
10 standings, and we'll show you those records later.
Well, the aggression of Edberg gets the first breaker. Stefan Edberg has the breaker serve in the final. He leads 2-1. Net!
Love 15.
I think we'll see a few service breaks in this match, Bill, because Gilbert's second serve being a bit short, he'll be broken, and Gilbert's return is so good that he'll certainly hurt Edberg on quite a few occasions.
Quiet, please. Out. 15 all. Ladies and gentlemen, as a courtesy to the players, please try to be quiet between first and second serves. Thank you. 30-15.
The thing that's been impressive about Edberg this week has been his concentration and his determination in this tournament. Last night, under the pressure of the crowd really barracking against him, he really held firm when one shot could have meant the end of the match for him.
40-15.
Well, confident play by the #1 seed. He leads 3-1 in the
Edberg
first
leads
set.
by 3-1.
So we mentioned earlier about Edberg. There are 10 facets of the game of which records are kept. And Edberg, he's in the top 15 and 8 of those particular facets. There's all his positions and all those statistical pieces of information that are important. First serve points won, service games won. All of those that are so important. So Edberg right at the very top in so many facets of the game.
15 love.
That's usually the case, but you rarely see a champion player with just one outstanding weapon. He's normally at or near the top in many of them.
Yes, you talk about the different facets of the game, and that's why Edberg now is #1 in the world. I think that he has improved areas that were weaknesses before. As we look at the Uncle Toby's replay here, this is his strength, though, coming forward. That time the passing shot from Gilbert too good, but the general pressure that this man puts on his opponents is really hard to repel.
Out! 40 love.
Well, Gilbert's certainly got the range with these passing shots. Full stretch, Edberg, and Gilbert, his passing shot was hit from the middle of the court, so he did very well to get any sort of angle there.
Oh, that's brilliant from Gilbert. Well, Gilbert doesn't like that call at all. Let's have a look at it again.
Well, it was a smart shot, though, from Gilbert here. He tried to get it high, out of reach of Edberg. You can see they're barely landing long.
Rudy Berger, the umpire, unmoved. Was long, though, the ball just floating.
Super return there from Gilbert. That was a good serve. Look at this serve. It's down the center line. Gilbert at full stretch, able to still snap it down the line. Such a dangerous player when stretched wide. Here's the Edberg service. And we've mentioned throughout the week how he's gotten the toss more forward and more to the right. And you can see there really leaning into the ball, getting in so quickly to the net. The speed, 153 k's an hour, only average.
40-15.
But it's the backing up of the serve that really makes Edberg the quality player that he is. Heavy first serve and always backing it up with really superb volleys. The best volleyer on the tour. I think most people would agree with that.
Foot fault. Edberg was called once in last night's semi-final as well.
14-30.
Well, Gilbert just taking this ball on the rise.
Game Edberg. Edberg leads by 4 games to 2.
So Edberg again with a very efficient serving game. Incidentally, those statistics we showed you earlier are kept by the umpires on the tour, as well as keeping the score. They have a computer sheet that they score on, and they mark down the faults and all that information we were giving you. So they have a very busy time up in that chair.
Well, Gilbert always so steady from the back of the court, but just a little bit short with some of these shots, and Edberg had most of the control of that point until the very last hit. Well, this shot of Gilbert totally mistimed. You can see he lifted up on the shot, and Edberg totally unhurried with the pass. When returning first serves, Edberg is in 3rd position this year. 37% of the points won when returning the first serve. So he's not just a serve and volleyer, he can return. A look at disbelief on Gilbert's face. You can really read all his thoughts by his expressions. Well, here's the second serve again. Not that flash, and a very deep approach shot from Edberg. And Gilbert's going to be under enormous pressure to keep passing all afternoon.
Out. 40-30.
It's funny, Bill, because Gilbert knows of his weakness on the second serve. In fact, he was quoted after yesterday's match with Sampras saying that his second serve was so slow sometimes it wasn't even reading on the radar gun. So it's just amazing that he's not been able to work on that aspect and improve it.
Certainly is. In fact, it was surprising that Sampras didn't exploit it more. He stood back and just took that second serve yesterday. I'm sure Edberg won't. In fact, you saw there on the return of serve, Edberg was looking to come forward. It just happened to be one of Gilbert's better serves then.
Deuce.
Well, look at this for a passing shot, though, from Edberg. He really gets the racket around the outside of the ball and hits outside in, curling the ball from around the line back inside the line. And that's one of the dangers always, of course, of approaching to someone's forehand. They just have that extra option. The topspin lob is also another option.
Well, just touching the net, the Edberg shot. Gilbert was in good position. He's a little unlucky then. That's what he has to do, though, try and come in. If he doesn't, that man there will.
Please. Game Edberg.
Edberg leads by 5 games to 2. He shows the new balls to Gilbert, and he'll be serving for the first set. Edberg has been in the final of every Grand Slam event. Marvellous player, great experience.
Love 30.
Well, a wonderful point there. Edberg made a beautiful first volley off a tough return. This one here, Gilbert on the run, hit it perfectly, and Edberg's almost made this one. Super point.
Well, the miss hit from Gilbert, setting up the easy volley. Edberg serves with great variety. He varies the speed and particularly the bounce of the ball. It's a high kicking serve. It's very difficult for the opponents to bring it down low.
Yes, I think the serve that he's added even more to his repertoire, Bill, is the slice serve. He used to always toss the ball so far over his head that he was almost kicking the ball on every serve. Now with the change in toss, he's able to slice the ball as well, and that's just given him a new dimension.
Well, marvellous volley, and that brings up a set point now.
Well, this ball was a little awkward. It actually dropped quickly. Edberg just waited till Gilbert committed himself to move to the backhand, and he pushed it to the forehand.
Thank you.
Little bit of movement right up on top of the sand. There's the man, one of the photographers. And again, the placement from Edberg is superb.
6 games to 2.
So there's the first set to Edberg in this best-of-5 set final.
Keep a seats for one more game, no changeover.
6 games to 2. And after the singles final, we'll be showing you the shots from the top shot competition, the one that we've been conducting all week. Certainly has created a lot of interest and a wonderful prize, the Mazda 121 motor car. And we'll be showing you all those shots which you have to put in order. Robert De Castella enjoying a change of sport. He, of course, is the head of the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra. The executive director.
Gilbert there, my serve is pitiful, he says, and he really needs to keep that first serve percentage going. He knows he's in trouble if he doesn't.
Love 30.
Well, you can hear the crowd calling out for Brad here. He needs a bit of support. He's lost the first set and is down love 30. Well, Edberg didn't offer a shot then.
No, that was quite strange. It was a very close serve and surely close enough for Edberg to at least play, but see here, he elects to let it go. He had a definite play at it. It's a very important game, Bill. If Edberg was to break early here, he could nearly run away with this match, so he knows it. He wants to really stamp his authority here.
Yeah, well, there's the difference between the match yesterday and the semi-finals when the serve fell short. Sampras didn't come to the net like this man is today. And so he's really putting the pressure on the serve of Gilbert. Well, a marvellous passing shot from Edberg. He's got all the shots. But don't forget, Gilbert came back yesterday. Tony Roach joins me. What does he have to do to come back today, Tony? After this point.
Well, a couple of things, Bill. I think, first of all, his first serve percentage is not good enough. He knew that he would have to serve well here today to win this match because his second serve is just not good enough against somebody like Edberg. But the other big decision that Gilbert's got to make is that he's attacking the Lendl forehand, which is normally the weaker side, but I've never seen Edberg hit the forehand so well. Did I say Lendl?
Yeah, I think you've got it on the brain.
Yes. No, Edberg's forehand, usually the weaker side, but he's hitting it so well here today. Now, does Gilbert continue to go there to try and break it down, or has he got to start to mix it up a little more?
The answer to that question will unfold as the match progresses.
Low.
Edberg really mixing up his serves well here today. He knows that Gilbert does return serve so well. He's got to keep him off balance by mixing it up. Notice how early he takes this return. Trying to get that ball on the rise so he can hit down on the ball, keep it low. I think of all the players on the tour that Edberg gets foot faulted more than any other player.
Game Edberg. Edberg leads by 2 games to love.
Back foot comes up onto the line.
Love 15.
And he really does get into the net awfully quick behind that first serve. So I think a combination of those two things. But here's a wonderful backhand from Edberg.
There's the backhand errors from Gilbert. Aren't they hurting him there? 10 errors to only 2 from Edberg. That's the side that is being attacked and breaking down. Well, Edberg just lifting the ball past Gilbert,
15,
then really
30.
just blocking the forehand.
Well, the serve from Gilbert really not having enough swing on it, not enough pace to make the ball swing.
Great court coverage and anticipation from Edberg.
A wonderful point really from both players, because Edberg initially got into the net here
40.
and Gilbert was able to get him back with a good lob, and that started the point all over again. And once again Edberg forced his way back into the net and finally finished with that wonderful backhand volley. Well, Edberg got the ball that he wanted. He goes cross-court here to open up for the approach. This is where he likes the forehand. He likes to approach on that one. He's just a little sloppy with the footwork there.
Well, there's another break to Edberg.
Law 15.
Saw this yesterday in the semi-final. Brad Gilbert looked down and out. In fact, after the match, he said, I didn't think I'd be sitting in the winner's chair. He was just tagging me, Sampras. But he's able to dig himself out of the hole. And now the crowd trying to lift the Gilbert spirits.
Lob 30.
Edberg has been dominant at the net. There's the volley winners. Edberg 11-2. That's what we would expect from the #1 player. That's his method. Get to the net.
15-30.
Well, of course, Edberg coming in much more than Gilbert. Gilbert really likes to mix it up. He comes in when he feels he's got the right shot, whereas Edberg will even bluff his way sometimes.
30 all.
A look of disbelief, but it was, in fact, well out.
Well, he won with this return prior to this when serving to that court, so tried the same shot, just missed.
Up.
40-30. Game Edberg. Edberg leads by 4 games to love.
So Edberg running away this second set, and we talk about the elusive Grand Slam of tennis, winning all the majors in 1 year. Edberg won all the junior majors in 1 year, the only player to do that, and then of course has converted that junior career into a magnificent senior one. Gilbert to serve.
Well, that's just too good from Edberg.
Love 15.
Wonderful net coverage. Here, that approach was an ordinary approach. There's a better volley in here. This one just picking the passing shot.
Up.
15 all.
Well, there's no doubt at this stage of the match that really Gilbert should start to be, I feel, to come in on most balls just to try and break up Edberg. This set's gone, but he's got to try and break him up a little bit.
Yeah. 30-15.
So the serve creating the angle for the easy volley. And again,
40-15.
Makes a difference to get that first serve into play.
Yeah, because Gilbert is a good volleyer. There's no question that he can serve and volley, but the main thing for him is to be able to get a high percentage of first serves in.
Gilbert taking his time. He realizes how important this point is. He needs to reassert some authority in this match.
Well, it's just hard to know what Gilbert should be doing, because Edberg really is just playing wonderful tennis. As I mentioned earlier, I don't think I've ever seen Edberg hit his forehand as well as he has here today.
First serve. Advantage Edberg.
It's a good backhand slice approach here. Stayed low. And Gilbert just missing with the passing shot.
One of the few really unforced errors from the racket of Edberg in this match. Gilbert needs a few of those.
Advantage Gilbert.
So the third ace from Gilbert.
God, I almost hit my neck.
So Gilbert holds serve. Stefan Edberg to serve.
15 love. Love.
Get it, play! All right.
I think Edberg a little surprised by the good return then. Here's the serve in the second set. Edberg only getting 36% of first serves in compared to 59%. But when Edberg does get them in, he wins the point every time. Gilbert only half the time. Well, the crowd loving the play from Gilbert that time.
Oh, smart play. A good low return, and then Edberg closed in a little, and up went the lob. It was a good one. Edberg couldn't really get hold of it.
Oh, and off the belly button, that one.
30-40.
Well, this is just an unbelievable return to be able to get such angle off that ball right into the body.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Edberg so close to the net then.
We mentioned earlier and before this match that one of the strengths of Gilbert is his return of serve, and we felt that, you know, he was going to be able to break Edberg here today, but the problem has been that he hasn't been able to string three good returns together.
Edberg.
Well, the court coverage we've been talking about from Edberg then. He really went back deep for the lob.
Well, I'll say one thing, and we know that Gilbert is not going to give up in this match. And very quick to get to that ball, stay in that point.
Game Edberg.
Well, big serve.
Edberg leads
Big
by
game.
5 games to 1.
And Edberg leads 5-1 in the second set after winning the first 6-2. Here's a chance to look at the style of Edberg, Tony.
Yeah, well, look how quickly that he gets in for these volleys. Plays that first volley well inside the service line. Gets good balance. Here he goes back for the overhead. Side onto the net. Eyes glued to the ball. Good scissors kick there to get extra height for the overhead.
Well, Gilbert getting a workout here. Edberg getting very confident now. Hitting that backhand down the line. Opening the court up. Stefan Edberg now lives in London.
Huh? 30-15.
Certainly the quiet man of world tennis. Goes about his business, very professional. In fact, he's just become engaged to his longtime girlfriend.
I was talking to Brad in the dressing room before this match, and he's going to go and work on that second serve, and I think he needs to. It really, against a player like Edberg, it's just not quite good enough.
You've been talking about it, Tony, though, but has it got worse? I mean, as we look at the replay here, because he's been around for a long time, and he's been in the top 10 as high as rank 4.
No, I don't think it's gotten any worse. I think it's just something that he needs to work on, and
so they haven't really been able to exploit this serve up.
I think there are a lot of players now on the tour that can do a lot of damage when you start dropping your serve short. So it's something that he said that he feels that he can work on and certainly can improve. A good first volley from Gilbert. Good return from Edberg, and
Gilbert.
You'll notice here Gilbert gets down to this volley well. The key there was to get that ball deep and covering down the line.
Go!
Well, he's just missing the line. He's not having a lot of luck here this afternoon.
You notice that both players are coming into the net here. Edberg wouldn't have been expecting Gilbert to follow that second serve in, and he was just playing a nice solid approach. Gilbert came in behind the serve.
Advantage Gilbert.
This is the point that Gilbert loves to play. Serves wide, opens up the court to the backhand side, and that allows him to play his favourite forehand down that line.
Well, Gilbert struggling on every service game, but he holds. 5-2 in the second set after winning the first set. 6-2.
Please. Love 15.
Edberg travelling this week without his normal coach, Tony Pickard, the former English Davis Cup player.
$15.
Return a serve just too high. Gilbert on the back foot, just lifting up a little.
5, please.
Well, there's the footfault again. Edberg trying to get to the net quickly. Gets that second foot, or his back foot, second foot, his back foot to touch the baseline.
30-15.
Well, the relentless net attack is forcing a lot of errors from the ground strokes. There's 10 from Gilbert. 8 Edberg.
Thank you.
Backhand errors 15. That's the ground stroke that is hurting Gilbert in the match.
Five, please. Thanks.
So a little bit of his own medicine there. Edberg with the short second serve.
Yeah, it was surprising, though, that he stayed back on this. He's been serving and bowling both first and second serves. Good play, though, from Gilbert. So again, the decisive net play from Edberg gives him set point here to lead 2 sets to love. Well, you've just got to keep the return low from Edberg. He gets in too quick. So easy at the moment for the #1 seed. 6-2, 6-2, and a 2 sets to love lead in this best of 5 set final. Gilbert pondering the position. Here's the set point again. And once again, the return of serve, but look at the placement of the serve. That's the problem that Gilbert is facing, the quality of the Edberg serve.
Gilbert to serve. Brad
Gilbert, who has only dropped 1 set in the tournament to date, is now trailing 2 sets to love in the final.
Seats behind the court, please. Thank you.
Net!
First serve.
So the opening games of this third set now very important here for Gilbert. He's the one that's trying to stay in the match. He has the advantage of serving first in the set.
Love.
Gilbert serving volleying here, closes in very quick here once he saw the floating return. And a fine stretch volley there. Just looks like a step slow to me today, Gilbert. That wasn't a difficult volley, but really didn't get in a good position to make a good solid volley. Brad also was telling me that he's had trouble all week sleeping. He said last night he woke about 1:30 and never got back to bed, so that certainly wouldn't be helping his causes.
30-all.
Because that's one of the problems with the tennis players, all the traveling that they do, getting used to the different time changes. They're only in a city a week and then pack their bags and off they go.
Well, there's the big ace. The third one, the fourth one, in fact, from Gilbert.
This is the big flat one down the middle. This beats Edberg with sheer pace there. That's the way that Gilbert likes to play, but he hasn't been allowed to here today, and then he finally gets the opportunity to control a point and just misses the approach. Gilbert just shaking his head there about the length of that second serve, but Edberg has shown great variety on that return of serve. He's been chipping and coming in, and then that time he was able to get over it and drive it.
Oh, marvellous play from Edberg.
Well, Jeff Masters is back, and Jeff, do you think it's a case of Edberg just playing too well on the day, or that Gilbert just a little disappointing?
Well, I think Edberg, as you've rightly mentioned, is playing just beautifully, Tony. He's not letting Gilbert play his game at all. But the only thing I think Gilbert can do just a little more is just put up a few more lobs when Edberg's coming in. He's getting very close to the net, Edberg, and just a couple to make him think wouldn't go astray.
30 low.
But in the main, it's just been just a superb performance from Edberg. His serving's been good, his ground strokes are good, and he's just put too much pressure on Gilbert, who's just not been allowed to play the game he wants to play.
It's really just a carry-on from the US Open as far as Edberg is concerned. Those final two matches that he played at the Open, where he beat Lendl and then Curry in the final, the serve and volley exhibition that he put on there was probably the best ever seen. That ball, Gilbert just indicating here that his serves are getting up very high and he's having problems getting it down, but you can see that he's on the back foot there. Normally Gilbert's going forward on the returner serve.
Game Edberg. Edberg leads by 2 games to love.
Third set.
15 love.
And the footwork, it seems to me, Tony, of Gilbert has just really slowed down over the last set. He's just not moving out to the ball. He's really letting it come to him, and he's paying the penalty.
15 all.
Oh.
30-15.
That was a serve that really Gilbert needed to hit well today. That one swinging wide to the forehand, so as to open up the court for his good approach shots back into the backhand side, but really he hasn't been able to hit that serve consistently well here today.
40-15. Gilbert.
So that's long. This particular time, it's all Edberg. 2-1, third set.
Oh. 15 love. Quiet, please. 30 love.
Well, that's a good return from Gilbert, but Edberg's just in so quickly.
Yeah, well, the backhand volley just short and firm, punched well in front of the body.
Love.
Well, once again, the returner serve just getting up too high.
So
Edberg
ace
by 3 games to
for
1.
Edberg, only his third, but good enough to take him to a 3-1 lead in this third set. So here's a good look at service statistics overall. First serves in, 54% to Gilbert's 59%. So Gilbert ahead in that ledger, but it's just not effective enough. Edberg's winning 83% of them when they go in. Gilbert 66. on the first serve, and second serve also ahead as Edberg, 61 to 35%. So Gilbert getting just a few more first serves in, but not winning the points with them.
Well, Edberg certainly wouldn't have been happy with that drop volley, and Gilbert also with his attempted pass here. That's a bad drop volley. This one, Gilbert should have really won the point. And then the fine touch from Edberg there on the lob volley, but not a good point from both players there.
Lob 30.
Well, Tony, there was some talk a few years ago about Edberg's lack of killer instinct, but here today he's looking like he wants to finish this match. He wants to kick this fellow when he's got him down. There's no sign of letting up at all.
Well, you're seeing a player who's the #1 player in the world, and I think a player who's right at his peak right now.
Well, the serve wasn't bad. Edberg's steered it down the line to perfection, so a chance here for a double break in this third set, and surely the match almost within his grasp.
15-40.
That's just too good from Edberg. Magnificent performance. Performance from the world's #1 tennis player, Stefan Edberg. He's won the first 2 sets, and he leads 4-1, third set.
Well, at least Gilbert is trying to do something different. That's quite a good play, but you've got to keep the ball low if you're going to just try and chip the ball, come in behind it.
Well, we haven't seen many of those shots from Gilbert since the opening couple of games of the match. That's the best timed backhand return for some time.
Well, Edberg just blanketing the net there. Gilbert very frustrated here. He just can't get the ball past Edberg. He's all over the place.
So Gilbert, try as he may, unable to make any headway. Oh, and even the luck with Edberg. So Edberg now just 1 game away from taking this title.
Here's the replay. Just notice the short backswing on the forehand volley. Hardly a backswing. He was concerned about was making sure he hit that ball in front of the body with a nice firm wrist.
Please. Lob 15.
So while Gilbert is still struggling hard, he's dispirited, and the movement has slowed appreciably because of that total attitude of dispiritedness.
15 all.
Well, you know you're in trouble when your opponent is taking your first serve on the rise and coming in behind it.
5 please.
15-30. Gilbert can only stand motionless and watch it go by.
Well, here's the hook forehand again from Edberg. Fine return. That was low. Here he comes. He's going to hook this ball down the line. See that ball curling in.
So the crowd, very vocal. They'd like to see more tennis.
Quiet, please.
But it's match point for Edberg.
Quiet, please.
Good coverage here from both players. That was a tough forehand volley there. That was a lot harder than what it looked. He was a long way back when he played that volley.
Oh, yes, Gilbert. Ace number 5. Well, Tony, you said you hadn't seen Edberg hit his forehand any better. That's a sign of the confidence he's got in that shot today.
And normally he likes hitting that one back down the line, and that one catching Gilbert by surprise. He very rarely comes across court with that. He likes to push it down the line and come in behind it off a second serve.
Match point again for Edberg.
Deuce.
Oh, so close.
Wrong footing volley here. Just pushed back in behind Edberg.
So only centimetres in it, but it's back to deuce.
Well, he's been mainly going down the line when he's had this forehand. You see, he held it to the last minute, then heavy topspin, making that ball dip and getting the angle on it.
So, match point number 4 for Edberg.
Thank you.
Well, Gilbert, a fighter all the way.
Advantage, Gilbert.
And finally, Gilbert getting a little stick on his serve, and that sets up for the easy volley.
It's good. So Gilbert fights off 4 match points. Edberg, however, now serving for the match. 5-2.
Well, that really has been the story of the whole match here. Gilbert just not able to get the ball on the return of serve low enough, and Edberg has the volleying equipment to deal with that.
There's the Cyclops machine that calls the service line. Well, Edberg showing the full repertoire here this afternoon.
30 long.
And not only can he hit good penetrating volleys, but he's also got fine touch. Taking the pace off that ball.
Well, ace number 4 for Edberg, and surely here on his 5th match point on his own serve this time, he's going to be, one would think, unstoppable. From Gilbert.
And what a volley from Edberg. Here, this one here, this is a good return, full stretch, and of course Gilbert on the full run, and that ball was deep, ripped that down the line.
Match point number 6. That's out, and the indoor event has a new champion. An absolutely masterful display by the world number 1, Stefan Edberg, in straight sets. 6-2, 6-2, 6-2. And the crowd, quite rightly, giving wonderful applause to what was, Tony, a superb victory.
Yes, I think Gilbert was just a little flat here today, but I don't think it would have made any difference because Stefan Edberg just showed us why he's the #1 player in the world. He's at the top of his form and just gave a wonderful exhibition of serve volley tennis, and then on the return of serve, the chip charge, and just taking full advantage of that weak Gilbert serve today.
Yes, that second serve of Gilbert's was a problem for him, and as you said, he's going to perhaps work on it. All right, we've got some presentations coming up shortly, but until then, we'll take a short break. Presentations with Tim Webster.
Thanks very much, Bill Barry. I think the first thing we should do here at the Entertainment Centre is show our appreciation for a stunning performance from the #1, Stefan Edberg. He was his stylish best, there's no doubt about that. And with me on this dais is the Executive Director of the Australian Institute of Sport, Rob de Castella, President of Tennis Australia, Jeff Pollard, Director of Uncle Toby's, David Carter, and of course, our Tournament Director, Graham Lovett. To say a few words, would you welcome the President of Tennis Australia, Jeff Pollard.
Thank you, Tim. Distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen, a little more I can say, but congratulate Stefan on an impeccable performance. He's only today reinforced what we already know from the IBM ATP computer, that he is the #1 player in the world. Demonstration of it today. Congratulations, Stefan. Our commiserations to Brad, but it's a pretty good week to be runner-up in a $1 million tournament. And we know he's also demonstrated to us what a great competitor that he is. He never gives up, and he showed that today by, I think, saving 5 match points. So to Brad, you're always welcome in Australia. I'd just like to take this opportunity to express our appreciation, particularly to Uncle Toby's, sponsor of the Australian Indoor Championships, and of course a great sponsor of all Australian sport, to Channel 10 for the magnificent coverage that they've given the Uncle Toby's Australian Indoor Tennis Championships, to Graham Lovett and his team from Sport Australia, Graham Clark, Wendy Lysett and all the others. Thank you, Graham, for putting on what is a magnificent tournament. The Australian Indoors only goes from strength to strength each year. It was, as you know, a magnificent entry, and I'm sure that Graham will only produce an even better one for you next year. Thank you all for your support.
Thanks, Jeff. Well, ladies and gentlemen, both here and at home, it's a very great pleasure to introduce this next fella. He's here for a variety of reasons, but primarily one of the reasons is Sydney's bid for the year 2000 Olympic Games, and wouldn't we love to have it here? Please show your appreciation, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we? Yes. And of course, he's here in his capacity as the Executive Director of the Australian Institute of Sport, but of course, we all know him as Deke, probably the greatest marathon runner this country's ever produced. Rob De Costello.
Thank you very much, Tim, and thank you, everybody. It's a real pleasure for me to be able to come up here today and watch the tennis, and certainly witness a tremendous performance by Stefan. I'd like to take this opportunity to congratulate everybody associated with the event. I think Graham Lovett and his crew have done a tremendous job putting on a real first-class event here, and I think it's an indication to everybody, certainly here in Sydney, but also around the world, just what sort of job Sydney can do. And I hope we see a lot more events of this calibre, and I certainly hope that we see events of this calibre in the year 2000 when we want to see the Olympics here in Sydney. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, now to receive his runners-up cheque and trophy from David Carter from Uncle Toby's. Please, a big hand. It's always great to have him here. He's such a fine competitor. Brad Gilbert. He was a bit tough today, Brad.
I think it's only fitting that the #1 player in the world win this tournament, because it's probably the best run indoor tournament in the world. I'd like to thank Graham and Wendy for doing a great job, Uncle Toby's and the IBM ATP Tour, and most of all you fans for coming out and supporting this event. You guys can hear it. Without you guys, we really, it's hard for us to have a great event, but I wish I could have put up a better fight today, but I think after Stefan saw Goran serve last night, my serve was looking a little fat for him. But I'd just like to thank you guys for letting me play here all week. It's been a great week for me, and I'd love to be back next year. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, now listen, before he goes, you back here for the Australian Open?
I'll be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back for the Australian Open. I knew he would be. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to receive his winner's cheque and this magnificent trophy, the world's #1 tennis player, Stefan Edberg. He's about to receive 155,000 Australian dollars. Stefan, a stunning performance, and I'm sure this crowd would like to thank you for once again entertaining them.
Thank you, thank you. No, I think it's been a great week for me. It's great to come here and play in Sydney. This is the second time I've come here to play, and I really enjoyed it this week. And I thought yesterday was a very, very exciting match. I was just wondering how I would feel today, but I just felt great today. And I also like to thank Graham and Whitney for putting up a very good event, the ball boys and everybody involved in the tournament, Uncle Toby as well, and the IBM ATP Tour. And not to say the least, all you people for coming out. And you've been a great support this week. Thanks a lot.
You know, folks, I actually think a lot of these guys think Uncle Toby's somebody's uncle. This is the obligatory champagne opening, and I doubt very much whether Stefan will do what Boris did last year. And don't get any ideas, Stefan.
It's coming slowly here. I think we need to shake it a little bit too. Are you ready? That's too tough for me.
It's okay for you. You don't have to play doubles out here next. Ladies and gentlemen, that closes the presentation from here. Of course, the doubles match coming up. Don't go away. But one more hand, please, for this absolutely sensational tennis player and for Brad Gilbert for entertaining us once again. Thank you very much, everyone.
So, a wonderful presentation, a great atmosphere, and plenty of great shots from all the players here this week. We've been running, of course, for you a wonderful competition, the Uncle Toby's Top Shot competition.